So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you with my Altergeist deck profile for the post-circuit break. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and of course guys, as I progress to the deck profile, I'll be explaining to you guys some of my card choices and the reason why I play them. And if you guys want to see the next profile after this, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. I understand that you guys want to see all the deck profiles possible from circuit break, so the next deck profile that I'll probably do after this is going to be crawlers. So if you guys want to see that deck profile, make sure you guys hit and smash that thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing. Since this deck is really new, and some of you may or may not know what Altergeist monster does, I'll be explaining to you guys thoroughly on what their effects are throughout the video. By the way guys, if you guys want to help support the channel, I have my Dark Magician and also Blue Eyes playmats still available for my 100,000 subscriber anniversary. If you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you guys get yours today. I do free shipping in Canada and USA. International shipping may cost extra. These are going to be for a limited time only, so make sure you guys get your mats today. Let's start with a monster real quick. You want to play, of course, Triple Altergeist Marionetter. Okay guys, this card is like one of the main card of the decks. Essentially a Stratos of the deck. This deck is reliant on, you know, summoning your monsters. Their normal summon is just really important, and it's just reliant on actually getting your traps to your side of the field as quickly as possible. So Marionetter has the effect that when this card is normal summon, you can set one Altergeist trap directly from your deck to your smaller trap card zone. And secondary effect is really good as well, is that you can target one Altergeist card you control and one Altergeist monster in your graveyard, send that card on the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that other monster from the graveyard. So it's essentially a monster reborn for Altergeist monsters, which is really nice, okay, by just sending, you know, your face-up trap cards that you're not utilizing on the field. If you have multiple copies of a certain trap card on the field, you can activate this effect to send the trap card to easily revive back a Altergeist monster from the grave, which is really amazing. So this deck is just really reliant on their normal summon, and this card is your starter card of the deck, which you want to see in your opening hand as quickly as possible. So next off, you're going to play, of course, Triple Altergeist Malusik. This card can attack your opponent directly, and when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, well, of course, it's able to attack your opponent directly, which is really amazing. You can target one card in your opponent's control and send it to the graveyard. So this card like automatically disrupts a lot of plays after it attacks, which is really nice. Sending problematic cards that are on the field to the graveyard is just really amazing. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Altergeist monster directly from your deck into your hand, which is really good except for herself. And also, you can only use this effect of Altergeist Malusik once per turn. A really cool interaction that Malusik and Marionetter has in the deck, because Marionetter can utilize the secondary effect to send Malusik to the graveyard, so that way that Malusik can actually trigger off the effect, and at the same time bring in back an Altergeist monster using Marionetter effect. It's just really amazing. So this card is the reinforce of the army of the deck for monsters, and this card is the reinforce of the army for the deck for the trap cards. For one of the best disruption cards in the deck, definitely Triple Altergeist. You can return one other Altergeist card you control to the hand, then target one card your opponent controls, return that to the hand. And this effect can be utilized during either player's turn, which is really amazing. Especially utilizing this effect during your opponent's end phase is really good, because you can just return a face-up monster or face-up trap card on the field to bounce back rolls and things like that. And especially during your turn, you can just bounce back your trap cards to bounce back any problematic cards to your opponent's hand, and then just basically reset the trap again, so that way that on your opponent's turn, you have another disruption card. The way that these guys trigger out their effects is that you're either using Marionetter's secondary effect to monster reborn a monster by sending a face-up Altergeist card you control to the graveyard, or either using that as link materials to link summon into the Prime Banshee, so that way that these cards will trigger out their effects, which is really nice. Okay, you can basically add a trap card in your graveyard, basically add it to your hand. So this card adds a trap when it's sent to the graveyard, and this card adds a monster directly from the deck to your hand. Last but not least, for our Altergeist monster, you definitely want to play Triple Altergeist Quinqueri. This card is absolutely amazing. It's essentially the battle fate of the deck, and at the same time also a breakthrough skill. When an opponent monster declares an attack, if you control an Altergeist card, whether it's a monster or a face-up trap, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that attack. So basically, any attack that your opponent tries to do on your Altergeist monster, you have a defensive card in your hand to basically negate the attack and freely special summon a level 5 monster from your hand, which is very powerful. You have a defensive card in your hand to basically negate the attack and freely special summon a level 5 monster from your hand, which is very powerful. And it's really good because if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate the effect. It basically negates the effect of that card on the field while this card is still face-up on the field, which is really amazing. So cards that utilize the effect during your turn or during your opponent's turn can be easily negated off using cards like Quinqueri. You can actually comboing off Soquitos with Quinqueri. You can activate Soquitos, bounce back Quinqueri and things like that, and your opponent tries to attack. Activate Quinqueri from the hand, special summon it, negate the attack, so that way that your Soquitos can actually stay alive on the board. Alright guys, off to the next monster is you definitely want to play Triple Gofu. This deck is a very defensive based deck, so adding Gofu into the deck makes this deck a little bit more offensive, giving you access to cards like Decode Talker and, you know, cards like a Borolo Dragon is also really good in my opinion. And Gofus are like one of the best link monsters in the game right now, well, not link monsters, like one of the best monsters for links. And the fact that you're able to utilize Gofu in the TCG, because we still have it at 3, is just really good. And having access to, you know, link monsters these days are absolutely amazing, so that way that you can basically, you know, apply more pressure on the board and just, you know, overall bring more monster presence on the board, which is really nice. So triple Gofu makes this deck a little bit more faster by giving you access to more link monsters, so that way that you can just apply more damage and pressure to your opponent as quickly as possible with cards like Gofu in the deck. So triple Blackwing Gofu, the Vague Shadow, very necessary in my opinion. Next off, you're going to play the one Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Your whole entire deck is all spellcasters. And the way that you also trigger off their secondary effect to add a trap or add a monster directly from your deck into your hand is off Spellbook of Knowledge. So when you have this face up on the field, you can activate Knowledge, send this card to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, and then you basically search off Malusik's effect. So that way that you're definitely not even negging at all. You're basically just going Pot of Greed for free off Spellbook of Knowledge by sending these cards to the graveyard, which is really, really powerful in my opinion. So Spellbook Magician of Prophecy at a 1-off is definitely a must-off in my deck to search your knowledge. And last but not least, for our supporting engine, you are playing the Gem Knight Tourmaline, aka Gem Knight Garnet. If you guys have a Garnet, play Garnet instead, but I am playing Brilliant Infusion in this deck, so I also got to incorporate the Trick Clown into the deck. The reason why I'm incorporating Brilliant Infusion in this deck is because this deck is just so reliant on its normal summon. Okay guys, the normal summon is what matters, and especially having 2 normal summons in one turn can actually put you far ahead. Really, really amazing. And this deck is just so reliant on normal summoning, it's crazy. So if your opponent stops a normal summon, you want to have your Altergeist monster on the field as much as you can, so that way cards like Quinn Query can always be live, and cards like Protocol and things like that can also become live as well. So you need monsters on the board, and the best way to get multiple monsters on the board with this deck is definitely incorporating the Brilliant Engine as well, and sending Trick Clown to the graveyard, so that way that you have access to more rank 4 plays, and even access to more link plays. It's just really amazing overall in my opinion. So one Gem Knight Tourmaline and Trick Clown is definitely a must-off. Trust me guys, the additional normal summon is just super, super crucial, and it's really important, and it makes this deck a little bit more aggressive, especially with Gofu and things like that. You know, by playing Brilliant Fusion and Gofu, you're making this defensive-based deck go into both offensive and both defensive, because these cards help you, you know, advance your game state a lot, which is really good. So Gofu and also Gem Knight and Trick Clown are just my own personal decks that I love to play in the deck. So if you guys want to try that out, make sure you guys go ahead and do so. Just use my deck list as a guide to what you guys want to play in your own deck. And last but not least, of course, for our monsters, you want to play the one lone Maxi. Maxi's the best monster in the game right now. Really, really powerful. And you're basically signing all the other hand traps. So yeah, that's pretty much for the monsters. Let's go off into our spells. For the spell you guys want to play, of course, standard Spellbook of Knowledge, triple copies of that. Your whole entire deck is spellcaster monsters. Really good, and double copies of Spellbook of Secrets. You know, if you up Secrets, gets you access into your Blue Boy. Blue Boy gets you access into your Knowledge, which is amazing. So these cards are your draw power of the deck, and you know your whole entire spawn lineup is just really strong power cards. So you know, triple Knowledge and of course double Spellbook of Secrets. You're playing a spellcaster based deck. I believe that any spellcaster based decks should be incorporating this engine into the deck, because it's essentially a pot of greed. You know what I mean? It's super powerful. Next, you're gonna play triple Brilliant Fusion. Fusion helps you get access to Seraphonite, and Seraphonite gets you access into Trick Clown and also an additional normal summon, which can potentially make you into your link monster plays, which is really good. So triple Brilliant. And last but not least, you're playing the Soul Charge. Really powerful card as well. Soul Charge is like one of the best spell cards in the game right now. And last but not least, double Cause Cyclone to round off our spells. These are all good power spells. This card is just really good against decks like True Dragos and also Pendulum Magicians. Being able just to, you know, banish cards like the Pendulum Graph is just really good, and also banishing the trap cards, especially to tribute summon on your turn. Just really amazing. So Cause Cyclone is just good for that. And that's pretty much it for the spells. Guys, a very standard spell lineup to actually play in this specific build that I'm playing. So yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and test out the Brilliant Fusion for yourself, because of how powerful Brilliant Fusion is in the deck, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it, guys. Very small spell lineup. Let's go off to our traps. Alright guys, for the traps, you guys are going to play triple Altergeist Protocol. This card is absolutely amazing. The activation and effects of Altergeist cards activated on your field cannot be negated. So as long as cards on the field, any Altergeist cards you activate, they're immune to basically anything. So when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one other face-up Altergeist card you control to the graveyard. They get the activation if you do destroy. You will use this effect of Altergeist Protocol once per turn. So the card basically is essentially a breakthrough skill that negates and destroys, which is really amazing. And that's how you can also trigger off your Altergeist monster effect, by using this effect to send your face-up Altergeist cards you control to the graveyard, which is really good. You can basically send this one as well, Altergeist Camouflage. You want to play double copies of Camouflage. Camouflage is really amazing because its effect reads that, basically his effect reads that you can target one Altergeist monster you control, you equip this card to it. It cannot basically target the equipped monster for attacks, but it doesn't prevent your opponent from attacking directly. Protects your Altergeist monster from being destroyed, which is really good. It's because you always want to have monster on board for cards like Quinn Query in your hand. Gain an opponent monster effect that activates by targeting the equipped monster. Target the equipped monster, you just negate that effect. And also it has a secondary effect in the graveyard like Return of the Dragon Lord to basically banish yourself in an Altergeist monster were to be destroyed, which is really nice. So you can also use Protocol to send Camouflage to the graveyard because Camouflage is going to activate and it's going to be face up on the field equipped to that monster. So you can activate Protocol, send this card to the graveyard, and then just basically negate any monster effect and destroy it. I love this card so much. Double personal spoofing. This card is actually really good. Once returned, you can shuffle one other Altergeist card from your hand or face up on the field into the deck and add another Altergeist card directly from your deck into your hand. Well, another Altergeist monster, which is really good. So into the deck, which is really good. So this card can search up any of your Altergeist monster, which is nice as well. But the only downside about personal spoofing is that it's not an Altergeist card. If this card was an Altergeist card, it would have been super nice. And last but not least, for our traps, you guys can play whatever you guys want for these three, but I like to play Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning to run off our trap lineup. So that's pretty much it for the traps. Let's go out into our side deck. Alright guys, side deck is always up to personal preference, so this is what I have so far to showcase you guys for the side. You know, play the one Twin Twister and also the one Cosmic Cyclone for extra back row removal, which is really good. So one Twin, one Cosmic. Double Zaphion for the True Draco matchup, and also it's just really good overall to shuffle back Pendulum Scales, which is nice. And since you're playing Brilliant Fusion, you can normal summon this and normal summon another Altergeist monster, which is good. Triple Systems Down destroys ABCs. Triple Drone Lockbird. So there you guys go. And last but not least, for our board wipes, really good against Spirals as well, Dark Hole, and also Regeki. Alright guys, for the extra deck, you guys want to play, of course, double Altergeist Prime Banshee. This card is not too great for the fact that it's the requirement to actually bring out this card is a Link 3. Like, why can't this card be a Link 2 in my opinion? During the main phase, you contribute one other Altergeist monster, especially one Altergeist monster from your deck to your zone. This card points to. So this card immediately, one, it triggers off your Altergeist monster effect in the graveyard, and at the same time special summons another Altergeist monster active from the deck, which is really nice. And also, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one Altergeist card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can use each of this effect of Altergeist Prime Banshee once per turn. It's a 2100 attack. We're just waiting for the other Altergeist monster to actually come out, because I believe that that monster is far more superior than Prime Banshee in my opinion. But yeah, if you actually have access to Prime Banshee, it can be, pretty beneficial. The 2 Prime Banshee, another boss monster to play is Borrello Dragon. I'm sorry if I, said Barrel Dragon last deck profile. I would like to apologize for that, but Borrello Dragon, really good card because you can have access to it with Gofu. Firewall Dragon, really nice as well. Deco Talker, Ningguisu. These cards are just really good boss monsters in the deck, in my opinion. And last but not least, double Proxy Dragon for the Gofu, which is nice. And off to our XCs, 41 Constellar Pleiades. You can actually make it off the Quinn Query, Lightning, Utopia, Castell, Direwolf, and last but not least, the Abyss Dweller to round off our extra deck. So that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile, I want to see more Circuit Break deck profile, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing, guys. My Crawler deck profile is coming up tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much for 100K. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comment section below. Alright, guys. Peace.